Fenway Park, a landmark of America's pastime. Tonight, the Braves return to Beantown for the first of two against the struggling Red Sox. It's Monday Night Braves baseball, next on Sports South. They say Fenway Park is baseball's most beloved ballpark, even when it's raining in Boston. You can see why they think so. Another packed house will greet the Braves and the Red Sox as we kick off interleague play here in the Fens. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome to Fenway Park. Our first look at the struggling Boston Red Sox. After the series loss to the New York Mets, the Braves made a flurry of roster moves. There's a new face on the Braves roster, one familiar to Red Sox fans.
Yeah, Ryan LaVarnway was called up from Gwinnett to take the place of Christian Bethancourt, who was optioned back to AAA today. LaVarnway's a big guy, as you see. He's been around a while. He's been up and down with the Red Sox several times. Began this year with the Orioles. They let him go, and he became a free agent. The Braves signed him, and here he is back in the big leagues. He is a formidable presence behind the plate, and in the minor leagues exhibited a lot of power.
It's not who you play, but when you play them, I think, in all of professional sports. That's certainly the case for the Braves and the Red Sox. Boston, a big disappointment. They've lost 6 in a row. Believe it or not, they're in last place in the AL East.
Yeah, and 7 out of 10. And they're coming off a series against the Toronto Blue Jays where they were, as described by some of the locals, abysmal. They were just awful. Bad base running, bad defense. Their team ERA, last in the American League. Their errors, middle of the pack in the American League, not so bad. And Dustin Pedroia, since moving into the leadoff spot, has really become the offensive power that you know and come to expect from him. But their pitching has not been good, but their base running and mental mistakes have just mounted time and time again.
Bunch of chowder heads, they might say, up here in Boston. And the pitching matchup tonight should be fun. Williams Perez gets the ball for the Braves. Rick Porcello, a big-ticket acquisition. He goes to the post for the Bo Sox.
Well, speaking of catching somebody at the right time, he's lost 4 straight starts. His ERA keeps skyrocketing. He's a sinker baller who can't get the ball down. That doesn't bode well for him. Likewise, Williams Perez, a sinker slider guy, needs to keep the ball down. Of course, with the green monster hanging over his right shoulder, he'll recognize it. He'll try to do his best to keep balls off the wall tonight.
It is an experience seeing a game at Fenway Park, and I'm sure playing one as well. When we come back, we'll get more reaction from some of the Braves' first visits to this baseball paradise here in Boston after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
between the Braves and the Red Sox, although only 2 of these ball games, folks, are here in Boston before we happily return home. I'm Andre Aldridge, and as we kind of deal with the weather, we deal with a historic ballpark. Of course, we got some Braves that have some history playing here at Fenway Park, so they are leaning on that. We got some of that sound inside the clubhouse.
You know, I played that left field, I thought, pretty well. The time I was here is some little, geometry lessons, if you will, that you got to get down. So, I'll be helping everyone out.
The history that this place has is unreal. I mean, Fenway Park is something you hear about when you're a kid, and you watch it, and it's the big wall, and you always want to get to it and play in it. So for me to get this opportunity this early in my career to be able to come play here and knock it out is awesome, man.
It's just a different atmosphere, though. It's like kind of going to Wrigley or some of the older parks when old Yankee Stadium was there. It just has a different feel, a different vibe when you get out there. And they pack it in every night, and it's always fun, and there's always a lot of electricity and energy, and it's fun to play in these places.
All right, so it always pays to have somebody with a little bit of experience in the work environment. Indeed, the Braves have that from their clubhouse. Hopefully that pays off in a big, big way tonight. Baseball right around the corner. Chip and Joe have the first pitch. It's the Braves and the Red Sox. Again, the first of 4 should be good to the very last drop. You're going to enjoy the ball game, everybody.
Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Fenway Park. Moments away from first pitch. Our 4-game series, home and home, begins tonight on the home turf of the Boston Red Sox, and it is a nasty, nasty night. I mean, swirling winds, mist, the field very wet, the warning track all the way around the ballpark soaked as well. But that won't deter the Braves and Red Sox from getting things started tonight. Atlanta comes in with this Academy Sports and Outdoors starting lineup. Jace Peterson, Cameron Maybin, and Freddie Freeman, the first 3. Nick Markakis knows this park well from his days with the Baltimore Orioles. And Nick's always been a good hitter in interleague play. Juan Uribe is at third base for Atlanta. Kelly Johnson, A.J. Brzezinski, Johnny Gomes, and Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop. The Braves, of course, use the DH in the American League ballpark.
That's Rick Porcello. He is 26 years old, 6'5", a slender 200 pounds, out of Morristown, New Jersey. Former #1 pick back in 08 of the Detroit Tigers. Came over to Boston over the wintertime in a deal for Cespedes. Red Sox just signed him to a big contract extension with a lot of money, but as you saw his last 4 starts, he is 0 for 4 with a 7.30 ERA. This guy's got 80 wins in the big leagues, and he's faster to 80 wins than anybody his age or younger in the big leagues today, and by quite a margin. So the Red Sox are hoping the sinker baller can get it turned around.
Boston needs to turn things around defensively, too. That has been a big problem for Boston in the first 2+ months of the year. You've got Hanley Ramirez learning how to play left field with the green monster up against his back. Mookie Betts in center had a collision with that angled wall out in center field this past weekend. Brock Holt is their right fielder. Napoli, Pedroia, good as gold at second. Xander Bogaerts out of Aruba, the shortstop. Pablo Sandoval, the former Giant, is at third base, and Sandy Leon is the catcher. That's the CPI Security Red Sox defense.
Another big signee over the wintertime, Kung Fu Panda, stole him away from San Francisco. Hitting .256, 6 homers. Maybe not quite the offense yet that they expected from him when they gave him big bucks. But you said Hanley Ramirez learning to play left field. I think he's been skipping class. I'm not sure.
Hopefully that's the case tonight as Jace Peterson digs in against Rick Porcello here at Fenway Park. And we are underway. A swinging strike that's headed foul. Strike one. 54 degrees our temperature at first pitch.
Mid-June. You can't beat it.
Yeah. Jace Peterson hitting .285 for the year. And he pops one up to the left side. Ramirez gives chase near the wall. Won't have a play. And just like that, Jace is behind 0-2. Peterson swinging it. He's got an 8-game hitting streak. He scored 7 runs in those 8 games, and he's got 14 hits in that stretch.
He sure set the table yesterday with that single on the first pitch of the ball game. Went on to have a big day. Porcello in the low 90s. Curve and a change. Occasional slider.
Popped up. Bogaerts goes out. Ramirez comes in. It's going to be the shortstop, Bogaerts, who made the play. Hanley Ramirez was coming in. Bogaerts went out, and a collision, but a catch. 1 out. Red Sox have seen enough of that already this year.
Right in the back of the head. Bogaerts got the glove right in the back of the head, but he held on.
Cameron Maybin digs in. Braves center fielder batting .301. He's knocked in an impressive 32 runs. And he takes a strike. That's Ron Culpa behind the plate. Vic Carapazza, Brian Knight, and Larry Vanover, the rest of the umps.
The scouting report on Porcello has been that he's been up in the zone. That sinker's not sinking, and hitters have been tearing him up.
Bogaerts deep short. Tough play. He made it, and a scoop by Napoli, who held on at the bottom of the pocket with that first baseman's mitt. Nice play. 2 out.
Bogaerts, the guy who had to kind of wait his turn at shortstop for the Red Sox. Played a little third base when he first came up, but he's a real good defender. Showed you a real good play there to get a fast runner. And as you said, out of the ABC Island. This one is Aruba.
A ball inside to Freddie Freeman, the Braves' first baseman. He's having a sizzling month of June. He's hit 5 homers. He's knocked in 14 runs this month. Blown away. 2 balls and a strike.
Porcello went 15 and 13 last year for the Tigers. 3.43 ERA. Good off-speed pitch there.
And Boston, quite frankly, had to find starting pitching. John Lackey's now a Cardinal. John Lester's now a Cub. And they have been looking long and hard for someone to anchor the top of their rotation this year. And Porcello works a 1-2-3. Top half of the first inning. He picks up his first strikeout. Williams Perez faces the Red Sox next. Park, here come the Red Sox, losers of 6 consecutive games, and a Boston offense that's been outscored by 60 runs in their first 64 big league games. They made a change at the top. Dustin Pedroia leads off. Brock Holt, Hanley Ramirez, then Big Papi David Ortiz, who's heating up. Xander Bogaerts is the shortstop. The Pandas at third base, Mike Napoli, Mookie Betts, and Sandy Leon ninth. And Williams Perez, fresh off that save against the Mets, will try to win game 1 of this series.
He's 2-0 with a 2.70 ERA. Those are his numbers as a starter, and in 2 road starts, check it out. He has a 0.69 ERA. That means 1 run allowed in 13 innings pitched. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight: number 1, ignore the wall. Don't pitch away from the wall. Pitch your game. Use your sinker. Make it 3 out of 4. That would be 3 out of his last 4 starts where he's gone at least 7 innings and pitched well.
Tough hombre to face to start the game for the Red Sox. It's Dustin Pedroia, perennial all-star for the Boston Ball Club. And he takes a called strike. Pedroia moved to the leadoff spot May 23rd. He's got 33 hits since that time, and you see his batting average over 300. And foul ball to the right.
And has been much more aggressive in the leadoff spot than he was lower in the order. Meaning not taking as many pitches and trying to get on base and get a good pitch to hit early in the count.
Just outside to Pedroia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Back up the middle. That's off the pitcher's glove. Peterson knocked it down. A ricochet off Andrelton Simmons. And Pedroia has a pinball single on the infield to start the game for the Red Sox.
Well, there were so many bloops that fell in New York. Let's hope this is not a sign of things to come with some tweeners off the pitcher's glove, off of Jace, and off of Andrelton.
Pedroia is aboard for Brock Holt. You talk about a jack of all trades player. You are looking at that man in the Red Sox batter's box. Brock Holt has played 7 different defensive positions this year for Boston. The only place he hasn't played is catcher and pitcher.
You know, he did a number on the Braves last year when we saw him. Stolen from the Pirates.
There's a strike. With Joel Hanrahan for Mark Melanson. And 3 minor leaguers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside, it's 2-1 to Brock Holt, born in Fort Worth, Texas, lives in Stephenville, Texas. He just turned 27 4 days ago.
He's even started a couple of games at first base lately.
Double play ball. That had a rooster tail on it as it made its way through the infield grass. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Doesn't surprise me.
So Andrelton Simmons starts a double play. Here's the rest of the Braves CPI security defense. Johnny Gomes knows all about the Green Monster. Maben and Markakis should be comfortable in the outfield too. Przinsky behind the plate. Uribe, Simmons, Peterson, and Freeman work around the horn.
They had the tarp on the field up until about probably 30 minutes ago. But even since then, watch this. Oh yeah. I can see footprints on the wet grass from where the players have taken their position on the field. So this mist that continues to fall is still pretty heavy.
Hanley Ramirez takes a strike. Say what you will about Hanley Ramirez's defensive issues. There's nothing wrong with his offensive numbers for the Red Sox. He leads their club in homers and runs batted in. Originally signed by the Red Sox, traded to the Marlins. That was with Harvey Garcia, Anibal Sanchez, and Jesus Delgado for Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, and Guillermo Mota in 2005. Popped him up. Peterson drifts out. And Maben comes in, staggers, and makes the play in the mist. I'm not sure if Peterson ever saw it. Williams Perez has a scoreless first. Challenge tonight. Every Braves homer in this game raises $12,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org.
Think these people in Boston are tired of the weather?
I guess the answer to that is a Big time, yes.
What a winter they had to endure.
We're talking with former Braves executive Larry Cancrow about that. He lives up here in Boston, works with the Red Sox. It was the winter that never stopped.
And so bitterly cold. A couple of pitches from Porcello here indicate he's getting the ball down a little better tonight. His last start against the Orioles, 5 1/3 innings, 10 hits.
And he's 4-6 this year. He's beaten the Braves before. That was back in 2013 when he was a Detroit Tiger. 1-2 count. And a bouncing ball up the middle. That ball took some funny spin and it bounced past Pedroia into center field.
That did take a funny bounce, didn't it?
I'm guessing with that wet infield, the ball's just going to hydroplane and take some funny skips.
Yeah, I would be inclined to try to take an extra base on the outfielders too for lack of a grip. But after it got over him, it kicked back towards shortstop and out of his reach. So 2 hits in the game, and they're almost identical.
And now Juan Uribe bats. He's hitting .264, 3 homers and 14 knocked in. And he takes a strike. Didn't think so. It's 0-1. This is Juan's 16th career game at Fenway Park. He's a .255 lifetime hitter here. Him and missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. When you're in that batter's box, does it feel like you could just reach out and touch that wall and left?
Absolutely, it does. You can't not see it, especially if you're a left-handed hitter.
Going outside. 2 balls and a strike. I would imagine for young players, that's the inherent head game you have to play. Play your game. Don't try to yank everything.
Yeah, like one of the keys for Williams. Try to ignore it. Pitch your game, play your game. Don't try to do something out of the ordinary for you. Just trying to hit the ball that way.
That ball's hit the other way. Brock Holt is there. He's got it. And back to first is Markakis. Uribe's retired. He's out number 1.
And as I'll call it relatively simple as it is to play left field here, because you can play shallow. Most everything over your head's going to be off the wall anyway. Right field is the opposite. Right field is extremely difficult to play here because from the foul pole it goes straight back to the bullpens, and that circular corner down there is very hard to play if the ball's rolling with any speed on it. Sometimes you just feel like you're out on an island in right field. You don't know if you're playing shallow or deep.
This ballpark has had so many iconic memories, so many historic moments. I believe it was Torrey Hunter with the Tigers, that great postseason highlight where Torrey Hunter's diving into the visitors' bullpen trying to make a catch. As Kelly Johnson bats. All you saw were the legs of Torrey Hunter pointing skyward as he's upside down, and a Boston policeman with his hands upraised in triumph signaling touchdown or jubilation for the home run. It was just a great photo. And that's challenge too. That fence is what, 4.5 feet high out there?
Yes, it is.
And Kelly didn't get it. He's down swinging. There's the second strikeout for Porcello. Markakis still aboard. 2 outs for A.J. Pierzynski. A.J. played 72 games with the Red Sox last year. Hit .254, 4 homers, 31 knocked in. 3 errors and 495 defensive chances behind the plate.
Well, his workload, as heavy as it's been, may have gotten a little bit heavier with the change in catchers behind him. But I think he is up to the task.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pop fly foul. AJ talked about that earlier this season. He started the year with the Red Sox, then ended up with the Cardinals, and that was the biggest adjustment for him. This is a man that's used to playing almost every day as a starting major league catcher. He then went to St. Louis as insurance until Yadier Molina came back, and when he came back, AJ didn't play hardly at all.
Right. But last year was an adjustment period for him where it probably is paying off. That kind of adjustment is helping him this year.
Sprayed foul to left. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the roster situation we're talking about, if you're just joining us, earlier today the Braves sent Christian Bethancourt back to AAA Gwinnett. Ryan Lavernoy brought up. Sugar Ray Maramon also available in the Braves bullpen for insurance. And Todd Cunningham sent back to Gwinnett as well. 1-2 is served toward third. Pablo Sandoval gets there and is able to stop before he hits the stands. AJ Pierzynski pops out. We head to the home second. Poppy, David Ortiz is ready to lead things off, and he's the subject of our AT&T Universe trivia question. Since 2005, who's the only player with more walks than David Ortiz?
Forrest Gump.
It's as good a guess as any. And Williams Perez wraps up his warm-up tosses. We'll see how he's fared against opposing teams' number 4 hitters this year.
Not very well. 5 for 12, 2 homers, bunch of RBIs. Hopefully, even though he knows who this guy is stepping in the box at 39 years of age, he won't change anything about the way he's going to pitch him. Certainly, AJ Pierzynski's got a good idea how to work him. And lately, he's been getting it turned around a little bit. But teams have been pitching him inside, crowding him, and he's had a hard time getting around on anything hard inside unless he cheats, meaning opens up his stance and starts a swing early.
A fastball and took a strike. You're right about Ortiz. He's been on base in 7 consecutive games for the Red Sox. He's hit 3 homers in his last 4 games, but is still hitting just .229. And he took that one, strike 2. Much was made in Boston about, well, maybe that man with the scythe is starting to creep a little closer to David Ortiz. He's 39 years old. Line drive into right center field on an 0-2 pitch. Don't count this guy out anyway, anytime. Last year, Ortiz, at the ripe old age of 38, had a monster season for the Red Sox. He had 35 homers.
Good pitch. Change up right where AJ wanted it. He still combed it.
So Big Papi can DH here at Boston. It remains to be seen whether he'll play first base when we have National League rules. That is to say, real rules in baseball. And no DH in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Here's Xander Bogaerts, the native of Aruba. There have been 4 others from Aruba to play in the major leagues. Most recently, Sidney Ponson. Remember him? Right-handed pitcher.
I do.
And out of play by Bogaerts. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice stop by AJ to save that pitch from going to the backstop. It's 2-1. Outside. Now 3 balls and a strike. Bogaerts played 144 games in the regular season last year, the most by a Red Sox player that young since Tony Conigliaro did that in 1966. And he just hit 1 to short. Should be 2. There's 1. There's 2. It is a double play. 2 of those in as many innings. And that is something that's been plaguing the Red Sox. They're hitting into a lot of double plays. Perez getting it on the ground. Good sign. 2 out.
I was just going to say that is a good sign for him. 2 double plays in as many innings, keeping the ball down. And with this heavy night air, wet grass, that's a great thing for the Braves defense.
Here's Pablo Sandoval. Red Sox gave this man 5 years and $95 million to move from San Francisco to the hub.
Braves put a shift on for him. Left-handed, he's a switch hitter. Although I'm told that he's pretty much given up hitting right-handed.
Really?
Yeah. He's only got 41 at bats right-handed.
That surprises me with the Green Monster.
I know, but we'll see if that plays out the rest of the series.
Base is empty for Pablo Sandoval. That one skips up there. 2-1. Sandoval won't turn 29 until early August. World Championship seasons with San Francisco. 2-time All-Star. And the ball yanked foul at first. It's now 2-2.
Clutch hitter in the postseason too for San Francisco. Got some big hits.
And a lot of them. Last year, Pablo Sandoval set an all-time record for a single postseason with 26 hits during the Giants playoff run.
That's hot and stay hot.
Fly ball toward left. And that'll be playable for Johnny Gomes. He's got it, and Williams Perez looks very impressive in his first 2 innings of work. We go to the 3rd in Fenway Park. No score.
and Ram trucks. Guts, Lori, Ram.
Iconic R&B vocal group Boys to Men will perform after the game Saturday, June 20th for a free post-game concert presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. VIP field and backstage passes are still available, and make sure to get there early to see platinum-selling artist Young Jock perform in the Braves Fan Plaza before the game. Get your tickets at braves.com/concerts.
Good hand for Johnny Gomes. Fans here loved him. Coaches loved him. Broadcasters loved him. He was a big hit in this town.
And even the crusty old sports writers in this town loved Johnny Gomes. First pitch swing popped up toward right, and Brock Holt should catch it. He nears the line and makes the play. In fact, in one of the articles in the Boston Globe today, one of the columnists suggested that Johnny Gomes is the exact kind of player that this year's edition of the Boston Red Sox are missing. They'd love to have him back.
Yeah, they suggested that they try to trade Hanley Ramirez to the Braves for Johnny Gomes. Good luck with that.
Here's Andrelton Simmons. He's hitting .270. And he takes a strike. Porcello looks sharp in his first 2 1/3 innings. That's popped behind first. Napoli and Pedroia nearly collide. That's twice in 3 innings. There's been a little miscommunication with the Red Sox defense. Napoli hangs on, 2 out.
It's the type of mistake that so far tonight has gone without any problems, but it's the kind of play that has really plagued the Red Sox, where they've been booting balls, making physical errors, but also making horrible mental mistakes on the bases, throwing to the wrong bases, not hitting cutoff men. Real bad fundamental baseball.
Peterson pops one up on the infield. Pedroia says he's got it. No one's around him, and he does have it. Bottom of the 3rd, scoreless.
in this stew, as Joe Simpson calls it. You know, with 131 games of experience out there in left field, Johnny Gomes knows the Green Monster very, very well. Although Freddie Gonzalez says, he tells me that he knows the dead spots, but I don't think this guy is like the Larry Bird of the Green Monster, referring to the Celtics and the dead spots over there. But Johnny says you can go through the wall, but I tried that, you really can't. The wall has to be your friend, Chip.
Yeah, it's metal, Andre. Metal and wood and solid, and you're not going to go through it, no matter how hard you try. And even with the kind of attitude that Johnny has to go through any wall.
I just love the sound the ball makes when it hits that big giant structure out in left. I mean, it is a very unique sound as Napoli takes a call, third strike. He's retired on 3 pitches. And Williams Perez off to a good third inning start, Andre.
Oh, absolutely. And Joe, just to kind of finish up on that, Johnny said that with a little smile. Then he added that, yeah, I tried to go through the wall a couple of times. It really doesn't work out, but I enjoyed all of my time there. But I guess it's not a nice Green Monster, fellas.
Well, it's funny. We just showed you the ladder. There's really no need for the ladder anymore. They used to use it and need it to go up and retrieve balls that were hit up there during batting practice. But with the addition of the seats up there, there's no need for that ladder. But just as kind of a historical mark on the wall, they left it there.
And there are all kinds of historical markers on the Green Monster. As that ball shot up the middle by Mookie Betts. Red Sox got a scare with this kid in their last series here at Fenway Park. Made a great effort and slammed face first into the fence in right center field.
Not a bad pitch again. Fastball out away from him. Teams have been working him away apparently, and that's been a trouble spot for him after reacting to pitches in. But this guy this time last year he was in Double-A playing second base, and all of a sudden he gets promoted to the big leagues to play center field this year and lead off, and that was quite a workload for him. They've wisely moved him down in the order to take a little pressure off of him.
This is Sandy Leon, the catcher. And what the Red Sox have done with Mookie Betts is what the Braves are doing with Jose Peraza in the minor leagues. There's the scoreboard. See that line in between the R and the P? We'll explain what that is after this pitch or throw to first. Tom and Gene Yawkey used to own the Boston Red Sox. He was a signalman during the war years. And those dots and dashes spell out Tom and Gene Yawkey in Morse code. That is still on the scoreboard at Fenway Park. A strike to Leon. Got to keep an eye on Betts. He's stolen 10 bases for Boston this year. They don't run a lot in the American League. Betts has 10 of their 27 team stolen bases.
He's from Braves country in Tennessee. Born in Nashville.
Bounce ball foul. His folks might have been Hawks fans, right? It's named for a former basketballer.
Yeah, his name is Marcus, but his nickname is for Mookie Blaylock. That's where he got his nickname for Marcus.
No balls, 2 strikes. By the way, Andre Aldridge is not only a fine clubhouse and sideline reporter, he has apparently very good hands. Watch this.
Oh, he's an old middle infielder. Well done.
Ground ball to first. Freeman's got it. Throw to second, 1. Flip back to first in time. It's another double play.
They're on pace for a record.
That's right. They're on pace for 9 of them. The Braves have turned 3 double plays in the first 3 innings, and we head to the 4th. No score on a misty night in Boston, Mass. Team 12, April 20th to be exact. They beat the New York Highlanders 7-6 in front of 27,000 fans. And tonight it's the Braves and Red Sox. And we are scoreless after 3 innings of play.
That's the day of the Titanic.
Correct. Briggs Stadium, otherwise known as Tiger Stadium, also opened on the same day in American history. One ball, one strike. Maven entered play today with the top batting average in baseball for the month of June.
I think it's safe to say he's playing the best baseball of his big league career.
And a good cut there. And Cameron's good work is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, and he's kind of exemplary, an example, of how this has gone down. 3rd largest decline in National League since 1915. Are you kidding me?
So think about that.
That's great improvement.
100 years from the 2014 club to the 2015 club. 3rd highest decrease in strikeouts from one season to the next. That's amazing. And Maven didn't get it. And he's down on strikes, unfortunately. That's the 3rd for Rick Porcello. Here's Freddie. Freddie was the first strikeout victim of the day. And that skips up there. Ball 1. We know all about Fenway Park and how friendly it can be for right-handed hitters. If you are a dead pull hitter at Fenway Park, this can be a fun place to hit too. One of the iconic features of Fenway Park is the foul pole at right, affectionately known as The Pesky pole, named for Johnny Pesky. It's 302 feet to right. And Freeman had a good cut, didn't get it.
But you better hook it around the pole, because if you don't, it's 380 feet. About 8 or 10 feet to the left of that pole.
2 balls and a strike. And Freeman took it. What's funny about the name of the Pesky pole, Johnny Pesky hit 17 career homers. Not a single one of them hit the foul pole. One of those homers curled around the pole and proved to be a game winner for the pitcher Mel Parnell, who was later a Red Sox broadcaster, made a note of that happening during a telecast, and the legend was born. A base hit for Freddie Freeman to straightaway center field. A 1-out rocket, and he's aboard of the Atlanta 4th. That gives him a 5-game hit streak.
They were trying to go down and in, down and in. He had to move his feet, and then that pitch almost looked like a four-seamer. It had no sinking action on it whatsoever, so he just ripped it. Markakis has an opening on the right side where he could pull the ball. He was in a 1-for-11 slide in that Mets series until yesterday. His last 4 at bats, he went 2 for 3 with a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored. So he got back on track and has a hit already tonight.
Nick's always been a terrific hitter during interleague play. That was facing National League pitching.
Yeah, that's right.
Now he's got to face the American League. We'll see if that 370, excuse me, his 337 lifetime interleague mark holds up against Boston. Freeman's running. The pitch high. Leon's throw is off target. And a nice play by Bogarts to knock that ball down, and it deflected to Pedroia, who is backing up right behind the second base bag. So Freeman steals a base, his 3rd. He's hoping for an early run here in the 4th.
Yeah, don't ignore him. If you ignore him, Big Freddie will get a good jump on you. I don't know where that got Bogarts. Looked like got him in the leg. Horrible throw.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Nick Markakis has 6 career homers in Boston. And he shoots one over short. That's going to drop for a hit. Here comes Freeman around 3rd. And Ramirez will lob it in towards 2nd. And Nick Markakis has come back to Boston with a run-scoring hit. And the Braves have struck first. It's 1-0.
Stolen base. And Nick with his 19th RBI. That pitch was up, and he fought it off. Didn't hit it hard, just dumped it out there. Freeman recognized it right away. And then another veteran move. Uribe hustled up to home plate to let Freddie know to stand up. All too often I've noticed a lot of young players just kind of hang out and become spectators in the on-deck circle instead of hustling up to home plate to let the guy know who's coming into home what to do, stand up or slide.
Line drive into right field. That'll drop in front of Brock Holt. And the Braves play it station to station. 3 consecutive singles. Puts runners at 1st and 2nd for Kelly Johnson. Second time through the lineup. Braves are getting better luck against Porcello.
Well, it's the Braves attack. You know, string some singles together. That pitch up and in. He didn't hit it hard, but it was up. And you pitch big league hitters up, especially guys who are high ball hitters like Uribe, and you're going to pay a tax. You could see in that background right there behind Uribe in that camera shot, you can see the water sitting on the grass. It is so wet.
This is one of the problems you have with the 2-2 home and away series in interleague play. Braves only come to Boston once, and we have a late afternoon game here tomorrow. Gotta do everything you can to get this game in under awful weather conditions. Strike one to Kelly Johnson. And Porcello faked the throw to second. Mets are losing at home tonight. They've got the red-hot Toronto Blue Jays in town. That's Noah Syndergaard pitching for the Mets. I think Jose Batista's hit a home run for Toronto. They play in the third inning. Here it's 1-0 Braves in the fourth. Fly ball center right at Betts. And he'll make the catch. Runner at second tags. Here comes the throw. It's off target and cut off. And Markakis at third now with 2 outs for A.J. Pierzynski. AJ popped up in foul ground, his first and only time up. That was back in the second. Williams Perez staked to a 1-run lead. He's gotten 3 double play ground balls in the first 3 innings tonight. A raw 54-degree evening. One ball, no strikes.
Nothing wrong with his four-seamer. It's been as high as 94. A lot of 93s. But his two-seamer that he needs to get ground balls with has not been as effective as you would expect.
Bouncing ball, foul at first. And now an even count.
Porcello was the high school player of the year when he came out of high school in New Jersey. The USA Today National Player of the Year, the State Player of the Year in New Jersey. And the Tigers got him late in the first round in 08.
Well, that's fouled straight back. 1-2. As we said, the Red Sox needed pitching. They got this man from the Tigers for Yoenis Cespedes. Boston extended his contract by 4 years and another $80+ million. That contract starts next season. Pitch. That gets away from Leon, and Markakis will come home and score standing up on a wild pitch. It's 2-0. On a 1-2 count, the Braves get a gift run.
Yeah, but see, this is what I love about this team. There's something as nondescript as a fly ball to center. Markakis recognized right away that it was a catchable ball, went back and tagged up, so he moves over to third base with 2 outs. He doesn't score if he just kind of lazes around at second and doesn't tag up. He goes to third, scores on a wild pitch, an extra run.
Sharply hit to the right side. That's through Napoli and into right field. Here comes Uribe around to score. It's 3-0 Atlanta. Sharply hit ball. Napoli couldn't corral it. And a couple of defensive miscues for the Red Sox have turned into 2 more Atlanta runs. It's 3-0.
Where was that pitch? Belt high, actually above the belt. And hit it hard past Napoli. Really a good thing that he slowed it down because it was hit hard.
As we've said so many times, Joe, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Braves offense.
No, certainly not in the last 2 weeks plus 1 day. More hits than anybody per game. Second in those other categories, and where it really matters, runs per game. Already 3 on the board. The Red Sox have had a horrible time in this homestand, giving up big innings to Toronto. Had 1 inning where they gave up 9 runs and didn't have an out.
So here's Johnny Gomes. You saw in that graphic all the second place rankings for the Braves in that stretch. The only team ahead of them in all those categories is Toronto.
Is that right?
Which has scored 88 runs in their last 11 games.
Not hard to figure out why they're 11-0, huh?
There you go.
Those games.
There's a strike. And Gomes behind, 0-2. 3 runs on 4 hits in the Atlanta fourth. And a nice cushion for Williams Perez, who's had a nice long rest in the top of this 4th inning. Strike 3 called, ends the inning. 4 strikeouts for Porcello, but the Braves strike for 3 runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The top of the order coming up for the Red Sox.
Right stuff, low price every day.
Beautiful look at downtown Boston, Mass. And you see that tower with the white light at the top? That's the Prudential Tower. Story on that in a minute as you see the Fenway Park grounds crew hard at work trying to keep the mound in good shape. A misty, damp, gray night. All is bright and sunny for the Braves, who've packed Fenway Park tonight. They enjoy a 3-0 lead. And how about that view atop the Green Monster? Call those the monster seats. And a strike to Dustin Pedroia.
Pretty genius, whoever came up with that idea. Hang out over Lansdowne Street, and I guess a little bit like some of the new seats at Wrigley, huh?
Yeah,
they have some that kind of hang out over the street behind left field now.
1-1 pitch, fouled away. That is the amazing thing about this park, and We'll look forward to seeing Wrigley Field when we get to Chicago later in the summer for a facility that's over 100 years old now. They have done a remarkable job of preserving the character and the feel and the vibe of Fenway Park, yet making it as comfortable as possible with the modern conveniences that today's fans demand. As that ball shot toward left, Gomes diving catch, and he made it. What a play, Johnny Gomes.
Yeah. Outstanding play. He took a called third strike. He wasn't too happy with the call, so he had a little bit of adrenaline going on this one. Lays out, and like a true big leaguer, he gets to his feet and throws it in. He doesn't stand there and wait for the ESPN catch of the day nonsense. Nice play.
Love it.
Everybody got their pictures. That's the new thing to do. You know, lie there on the ground for a while. Everybody get their cameras out.
Yeah. Yep.
Johnny.
1 ball, no strikes for Brock Holt. And that's outside. 2-0. I was talking about the Prudential building. Right down the right field line. Barely see it covered in the mists and clouds tonight. One of the great quotes in the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry attributed to Reggie Jackson, with a big home run against the Red Sox in a game here. He said, well, we needed some insurance, so I hit one at the Prudential building. And he could do it. Sharply hit, and that one will squirt through for Brock Holt.
That's good. That's good. That'll keep this double play thing in
Yeah,
play.
there you go.
Braves came into the game with 65 double plays turned. That's number 2 in the major leagues. Pittsburgh has turned 71, but the Braves with 3 in a row tonight.
And Hanley Ramirez is the Boston batter. Former Rookie of the Year. He popped out to center. That ended the Boston first. Braves might have the right man at the right time. Hanley Ramirez tied with Pablo Sandoval for the most double plays for a Red Sox hitter this year. Little dribbler slowly hit. Peterson will flip to first. That's the only play he had. Holt to second, 2 outs, and David Ortiz the hitter.
I swear, Andrelton Simmons, he cracks me up. He's standing there looking. As soon as Peterson turned around, he's got his arms out like, hey, throw that thing to me. Let's go. He doesn't give up on one thing. He wanted like a backhanded behind the back flip to him to have a chance at the double play.
David Ortiz singled on a 2-strike pitch. That was the second Boston hit. They have 4 hits so far against Perez, but Williams has shut him out. And that missed inside, ball 1. Told you Ortiz is starting to swing a hot home run bat for Boston. He has now caught Willie Stargell and Stan Musial on the all-time home run list. 475 of them. Same pitch, same call, 2-0. Do you have a position either way on DHs going into the Hall?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 balls, no strikes. That missed outside, 3-0.
They have to, in my opinion, they need to have exceptional numbers. Not so much just the standard, oh, will this normally get you in type numbers. You really got to be exceptional, I think.
Fly ball, pretty well hit toward left, but plenty of room for Johnny Gomes, and that will retire the side. No runs ahead, a man left. We head to the 5th. Atlanta leads in Boston. called natural rivalries during interleague play. Of course, the Braves have plenty of history going back to their days in Boston as the Bean Eaters, the Bees, the Braves.
You don't get that at just any ballpark.
No.
You don't have a vendor walking through with clam chowder.
No. No. In San Francisco, we saw the guy, as Simmons fouls away, walking around with the Ghirardelli chocolate, the hot chocolate.
Right.
We should have somebody at Turner Field selling grits.
I think peach cobbler.
That too. Either one. Either one. You can put grits in your peach cobbler. Doesn't matter. Up the middle. Nice play. Porcello robs Simmons. And the step on the bag by Napoli. 1 out. It's good play.
I had the best clam chowder today for lunch.
Did you?
Oh, baby. Remember Turner Fisheries here, the restaurant?
I
the
do.
Hotel?
Yeah.
It closed a few years ago, so I thought I'd have to go out and search for a new chowder joint. But lo and behold, the hotel purchased, bought, whatever the recipe of the Turner Fisheries prize-winning chowder, and they have it in the hotel. So the Turner Fisheries chowder was back. Awesome.
That explains why you're such a happy lad today.
Oh, my. Oyster crackers, hello.
Nice strike.
That plus in Fenway Park. I mean, even on a rotten night like this, I love playing in this ballpark. Great fans. Tough fans, but great fans.
Do you have any memorable games personally here?
Yeah, I did. I had some good games here, but one thing that always stands out is how far the walk is from home plate back to the dugout when you punch out.
Well, that never happened, right? I mean,
I mean, that is a long walk.
Of course, Fenway Park was the site of a very scary situation in baseball a couple of weeks ago. Fan hit by the broken bat and hospitalized. We understand that she's in good condition. I think she may have already gone home now, thank goodness.
That would be wonderful.
And as we look down from our perch, we can see just how skinny the protective net is here behind home plate in Boston.
Well, not just that. I mean, there's what, 30 feet?
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, you are right on top of things when you sit in those box seats.
If you're sitting in the front row wide of that backstop, you better have your eyes glued on things and have your hands up in front of you.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Oh, yeah, no question. Swing and a miss by Jace Peterson. He's retired for.
See, look how long this walk is.
Count the steps.
There's 15, 16, 17, 18. He's 20 and he's halfway.
The old baseball walk of shame.
Boy.
2 outs. Well, baseball commissioner Robert Manfred will be here tomorrow. I'm certain that's something we'll try to discuss with him. What measures baseball is considering, if any, to improve fan safety and the new ballparks, even the old ballparks like this one. Of course, the National League, American League rule sets. The All-Star game's coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good timing on his part for me.
Yeah, I know. The line drive to right. And Brock Holt gives ground and makes the play. Well, if Mr. Manfred brings you some clam chowder, maybe he'll go easy on you. We'll see. Good night for the Braves. We lead 3-0. Home fifth coming up. Johnny Gomes. How about that great catch by Johnny Gomes? Our Saxby's indescribably good play. A diving catch in left for the former Boston Red Sox performer. Meanwhile, the star of the night on the mound has been Williams Perez. His first look at the Red Sox, and he shut them out through 4 innings tonight.
Well, he's given up a hit every inning. And one runner has reached second base thanks to 3 double plays in each of the first 3 innings. But he's keeping the ball down and getting ground balls when he needs them. No ill effects from his relief appearance a couple of days ago. Having some quick innings.
He's trying to be the first Brave since Chris Medlin to have a season in which he's won a game as a starter and picked up a save. And he delivers a strike to Xander Bogaerts.
That's interesting.
Little history for Bogaerts, who was doubled up in the second inning. And he drives one towards short. Simmons fields and fires and gets his man. Xander Bogaerts was the youngest Boston player to play in a postseason game since Babe Ruth.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, this place, just like Atlanta and the Braves organization, this Red Sox franchise just oozes history. I mean, we were joking walking in off the bus, walking through the tunnel. We looked at each other and I said to Joe, just think, Ted Williams probably cussed here.
Yes.
When he went 0 for 3. Sandoval. Bouncing ball, out of play, foul, 1-1.
That was the long time argument, or debate, I should say, about DiMaggio and Ted Williams. DiMaggio playing in Yankee Stadium, which had a cavernous left field. How many homers would he have hit here with the monster? And Ted Williams playing in this ballpark, which is 380 to more or less straightaway right field, instead of having that short porch in Yankee Stadium. If they flip-flop teams, how many homers would they have each hit?
Well, it's funny. There was a rumor that I think it was Dan Topping who owned the Yankees at the time, and Mr. Yawkey of the Red Sox actually had a handshake deal to make that exact trade. They had a few adult beverages and had written things out on a cocktail napkin.
Is that right?
And shook hands and said, you know what, let's sleep on this and see if this is something we really want to do. There's another shot is short. Simmons fires the wet baseball to first and got Sandoval in time. There's out number 2.
Good play. Made it look easy. It was not. That ball was wet, but it was also slicing a little bit away from him, and he stayed down all the way on it.
But obviously, after, let's just say, the fogs cleared the next morning, those respective owners decided we better not do this. Let's keep Ted Williams with Boston and Joe DiMaggio with the Yankees. Mike Napoli, a strike.
Williams is sharp. This Williams.
He's thrown 54 pitches, 36 strikes. 2 out of every 3 pitches have been in the strike zone. Slow roller left side. Uribe charges. He gloves. He grabs. He throws to first in time. And Perez got 3 more groundouts. And he gives Juan Uribe a big pat on the back. Perez is rolling along. It's 3-0. Braves 3, Boston nothing. We head to the 6th inning. Let's revisit our AT&T Uverse trivia question. Since 2005, name the only player in Major League Baseball with more walks than David Ortiz.
I don't think it goes back this far. I know he hadn't played this long, but Joey Votto, because of all his walks, the only guy I can think of.
That's a great guess. As Freddie Freeman takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
What about Chipper? Chipper might be a guy.
That'd be another good possibility. That's over the inside corner. Even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albert Pujols.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All those home runs. He's over 575.
Can I switch?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Pujols.
You want Pujols?
Yeah.
Fly ball toward the monster. Hanley Ramirez on the warning track. He's got room. And he made the play for out number 1. So you're going to steal my answer and go Pujols. I'm going to steal your answer and go Votto. So we spread the wealth a little bit and see if we can surround the answer. Who's got more walks than David Ortiz? Didn't say active, did it?
No. That's why I was thinking about Chipper.
Yeah. Adam Dunn. Very similar player to Joey Votto. Tons of power, high on base percentage, but sometimes exasperating for some of the Reds organization to watch because he would take walks instead of turning on what they thought were hittable pitches. Big night for Nick Markakis back in an American League ballpark. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. All 3 Braves runs came across in the 4th inning. They strung together 3 singles, a stolen base, a wild pitch, a fly out to center that advanced a runner, and a Przinsky 2-out hit. Nothing flashy, nothing fancy, but very, very effective. That's downstairs. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a roller toward first. Napoli's got it, and he'll make the play at first for the 2nd out.
See, that's a Rick Porcello pitch. That's in on somebody's hands, a little weak ground ball. That's his bread and butter.
I did a little more research on that potential DiMaggio for Ted Williams trade. It was in 1947. Tom Yawkey, the Red Sox owner, and Lee MacPhail, the Yankees GM, agreed to the deal. Ted Williams was going to the Yankees. DiMaggio was coming to the Red Sox. But the trade was cast aside because Tom Yawkey wanted more for Ted Williams. Line to third and snagged by Pablo Sandoval. Great play. That player that the Red Sox wanted is a guy named Yogi Berra. The Panda Berra, Pablo Sandoval, makes a great play. 3-0 Atlanta. How about that, Braves fan? No shirt sleeves, no jacket, no problem on a 52-degree night.
No feeling in his fingers.
But he's enjoyed Williams Perez tonight, who's pitched with no feeling at all for a 6-game losing streak for the Red Sox.
Makes it easy to clap, though. If you got any feeling in there, you clap real hard, and he's had plenty of opportunity to.
Mookie Betts. This kid must be some kind of great athlete to make the position change that the Red Sox are asking him to do. As I mentioned, Braves are doing the same thing with Jose Peraza. Started at short, moved to second, now is playing center field for Gwinnett.
Oh, mercy.
Get the call.
Let's take a look at our PNC Bank box tracks. Just shaved the line. Could have gotten a call, but didn't.
And a base hit to right. Makes Mookie Betts 2 for 2. Third time the Red Sox have had their leadoff man on tonight. They have 5 singles as a team. Sandy Leon bounces one, foul at first. It's 0-1.
You know, we just had to draft, and it's such an inexact science. But a lot is put into size and what a guy projects to do, because if he's going to fill out, if he's going to get bigger and stronger. So sometimes the shorter, smaller guys don't get the attention or the respect maybe they should, because you don't know how they'll hold up over the course of a hot summer. And Betts is one of those guys. I think he's 5'9", about 180 pounds. Got drafted in the 8th or 9th round. But Dustin Pedroia, who's also 5'8", 5'9" tops, was at Arizona State. And he was a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award, which is the baseball Heisman Trophy winner. And yet he didn't go till the 2nd round. And you have to figure that a lot of it had to do with his lack of size, no matter how good he might have appeared in college.
That got a piece of AJ on a foul tip. Good changeup. And Leon's still alive, 0-2.
Great thing about this game, size really does not matter. How big and strong you are, how short and light you might be.
Betts has a pretty good lead at first. Not going, and it's popped up. That's over the Red Sox dugout and into the crowd. Still 0-2. All the big league action is interleague action. Tampa Bay 4, Washington 0. That game's in the 4th. Toronto 1, Mets 0 in the 5th. Play at first. Miami and the Yankees are tied 1-1 at Marlins Park. That's in the 5th inning. One postponement today. Cleveland and the Cubs were rained out at Wrigley.
How about that camera angle? That's a beauty.
Got it. Betts wandered too far and got picked off.
I'll bet he'll tell you that after a close call on the one before, he didn't think Perez would throw over again.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that have been plaguing the Red Sox. Down 3 runs, can't get picked off. He did. Now 2 strikes to the catcher, and that just missed. It's 1-2. Red Sox have lost 6 games in a row. They're already 8 games off the pace in the East at 10 under 500. Swing and a miss. Changeup got him. Good pitch.
You bet. Beauty.
His second strikeout. And Williams Perez has shown 0 ill effect from his high stress situation relief appearance a couple of games ago.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody really expected him to. If he had come out and got knocked out in the first or second inning, that would have been the first place everybody went as an excuse or reason that his arm wasn't fresh enough. But he just didn't overexert himself and felt real good coming out of the game the other day.
This is the first time he's faced the Red Sox. The situation is a little bit different. But remember a misty, rainy, drizzly day in this ballpark when a young Braves right-hander came here and won?
It was worse than today. I'm telling you, it was a horrible day. And you're talking about Kyle Davies.
Yep.
It might have been sleeting. It was so cold and awful.
But he pitched a great game against a terrific Red Sox lineup.
Yes.
A Boston team that was not struggling as mightily as the 2015 edition is.
And it was at a time when the Braves really needed a win at the tail end of a long road trip.
Pedroia was backing out of the batter's box as that pitch sailed off the plate. It's a 4-pitch walk, and Brock Holt is the batter.
Walks have not been anything for Perez to worry about his last couple of outings. Well, I should say his last outing. 7 innings, 1 run, unearned, 2 walks, 5 walks in his loss in the one before, and they were costly, and 4 walks when he did not give up a run in 7 innings at San Francisco.
Now Brzezinski out for a visit. First time Perez has had any extended trouble. He's thrown 6 straight pitches out of the strike zone.
And we'll get Uribe and Simmons in to talk to him.
And to get the Braves bullpen in action. It's Dana Evelyn.
Okay, Andrelton, let's see, Bogarts grounded out to Andrelton a while ago, so that was one of the ABC islands. That was Aruba grounding out to Curacao. Do you know who the B is? The ABC islands?
Baltimore? No.
Maybe.
Close. Yeah, you've told. Bonaire.
Yeah.
Bonaire.
There you go. Way to go.
Bonaire. That's it. I know hot air. I don't know Bonaire. 3 balls, no strikes.
That's why I wondered why it took you so long.
And that one's off the plate. Back-to-back walks. And now it's getting a little dicey. Tying run potentially comes to the plate, and it's the top home run hitter for the Red Sox, Hanley Ramirez. And that'll bring Roger McDowell to the mound for his first visit of the game.
It was funny, you know. I mean, he just, out of nowhere, he gets the pickoff, gets the strikeout, and then he can't find a strike. That's odd. It's only at 74 pitches. Just to regroup here and get after a dangerous hitter. Of course, the pickoff is huge right now.
You bet. Ramirez has popped out, and he has grounded out. Manny Ramirez started this season with 1,403 major league hits. And a lifetime 300 batting average. Way outside. 1 ball, no strikes. David Ortiz is next.
A real catbird seat right here for Hanley. The guy on the mound can't throw a strike. You're the tying run, and you're not going to be taking a strike. You're looking for that first one that he's trying to groove just to get a strike.
Wow, he took it. Thank you very much. 1 ball, 1 strike.
PNC Bank, which tracks? Well, he might have gotten benefit of the doubt on that one.
Now he's battled back and is a strike away. It's foul to the right side.
I know there are people back in Georgia and other parts of the South who have been suffering through some triple-digit heat indexes for the past week, and seeing Williams Perez breathe and see his breath, you're wondering what continent are they playing on.
A raw night. And Ramirez steps out.
He might stand with his feet closer together than any other hitter.
Well, here's where you want action. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good sinker. Good sinker. Ground ball.
He got the sinker, he got the ground ball, and he got out of the inning. Williams Perez walked a pair with 2 outs. A pickoff helped, and he's still got a shutout in Fenway Park. Boston, Mass. Here are the current conditions. 54 degrees. But The Atlanta Bats are hot enough. They've scored 3 runs tonight. And 5 hits against Rick Porcello, who's thrown well for the Red Sox. 1 bad inning has cost him the lead. 3 runs on 4 hits came in the 4th inning. He struck out 5 men. He's set down 7 consecutive since that 4th inning. And a little flare down the third base line. That's a fair ball. It dies at the angled corner. It's a long single for Kelly Johnson.
Breaking ball that was up, and Kelly looked like he almost fell down swinging at this. I mean, he's following through and trying to catch himself. And he dropped it right down the line, and then where the stands jut out, Sandoval has to run down there and get it. And when he comes up throwing, they got about 3 guys lined up to back up the play at second. It was pretty impressive. They at least did that right.
That ball is cut on and missed by Przinsky. And on the ricochet, Kelly Johnson moves up 90 feet. That ball ended up in the stands. Wild pitch. And it's strike 1 to the Braves catcher, who has an RBI hit in 2 tries tonight.
Second wild pitch for Porcello tonight. Tough one for Sandy Leon to handle.
High towering fly to right. Brock Holt drifts back. Kelly Johnson's going to tag. There's the catch. Here he comes to third, and he will make it on a slide. Productive out for A.J. Przinsky. And Johnny Gomes will be the hitter. Can't say it enough. We've told you and showed you graphically the dramatic decrease in Braves strikeouts, but the simplicity of the game and how much better an offense looks when the ball's put in play. We've seen the Red Sox have trouble making a couple fielding plays. The Braves advance runners by hitting fly balls, hitting the ball to the right side. Little things that have added up to a 3-run advantage tonight.
There's a skill level attached to it that's also fun to watch, that makes it admirable for Braves fans to see how many of these guys are able to handle the bat and do the right thing when called upon fundamentally.
How about this shift? Infield in, and the Red Sox have 3 defenders between the second base bag and the third base bag. I've never seen that before.
I don't know that I have either.
So Johnny's got to try to hit it through the picket fence on the left side. Got those 3 defenders, and you've got the wall and left.
Yeah, or just push a bunt to the right side and get him home easy.
There's a strike. Ooh. Close.
And that might have been one Porcello and Leon wanted. They got him looking last time up. Thought they could go back inside on him.
Three and one. Change. Slider.
Yeah, slider.
3-2.
One slider they did not want to give in to him. Didn't break much.
Nope. Johnny protected the plate, still alive. Full count. Gomes takes a walk. He just drops the bat on top of home plate. That might have bounced up and hit Leon, who flips it away in frustration. First and third, one out.
Yeah, he threw it over to the Boston side. I don't think Leon liked that a whole lot. I've not seen Johnny do this before.
Yeah, it didn't hit the catcher. Just landed right in front of the shin guard. So here's Simmons, first and third. Infield back at normal depth for the Red Sox. And Simmons backed away, and that may have hit him on the hand. Andrelton Simmons has dropped the bat on a bunt attempt and is walking back toward the on-deck circle. A pitched ball hit Andrelton Simmons on the hand, and he's hurt.
And it's his throwing hand on the fingers or the knuckle. Well, you're taught at an early age not to wrap your fingers all the way around the bat. To just try to hold the bat between your thumb and forefinger.
The umpires might be discussing whether that's a hit batsman or should be a foul ball. You see Jeff Porter examining the throwing hand of Andrelton Simmons.
It can be reviewed. And they are.
So Freddie Gonzalez is going to challenge the pitch up and in. He's going to request a challenge. We'll see if Simmons, if he's not awarded first base, if he can handle the bat. He's got the batting glove off his right hand. His throwing hand was the one that was hit by the pitched baseball, and he's still shaking it near the fungo circle here at Fenway Park.
Oh, there's pretty much no doubt that it hit his hand. It's actually below the level of the bat where it hit him.
So John Farrell's talking with two umpires who remain on the field. The other two umpires are down at the end of the Braves dugout. That's where the replay and review equipment is located. And John Farrell, exasperation on his face, is pointing at the scoreboard saying he tried to bunt that ball. It should be a foul ball. The umpires, I think, are saying he was trying to pull the bat back.
Yeah, and watching a replay, he was definitely pulling the bat back, and now they've ruled, and he did get hit by the pitch.
So it's a hit by pitch, and Atlanta has the bases loaded. We can see the right hand of Simmons. It's pretty red as he puts on the batting gloves at first. Another look at the pitch.
Yeah, no question.
And so now John Farrell walks to the center of the diamond for the Red Sox, and that might be the end of the line for Rick Porcello. It will be the end of the line. He's out with one out in the seventh inning. Atlanta leads by 3 and is looking for more at Fenway Park.
and Toyota.
Braves fans, spend Father's Day weekend with your dad and the Braves Friday, June 19th through Sunday the 21st when we look for revenge against the New York Mets. Dads, make sure you stay after the game on Sunday. You'll get a chance to run the bases with your kids. Go to Braves.com/tickets and plan a day your dad won't forget. Rick Porcello is out. New pitcher is on for the Red Sox. Left-hander Robbie Ross. And he's got Peterson, Maben, and Freeman lurking with the bases loaded and only one out. Ross came over from the Texas Rangers in late January. Originally a second-round pick by Texas in 2008. This young man began his career as a starting pitcher but had very little luck as a starter. Was converted to relief in 2012, and all he's done is gone 13-8 in the big leagues. Line foul past Bo Porter, and Peterson a 2-2 count.
They must have just activated him. They must have just called him up. They must have found him in the parking lot, because he's nowhere on my scouting reports or on their active roster.
Two pitch. Line drive, right center field, a base hit. One run scores. Here comes Gomes around third. Holt's throw is cut off. And Robbie Ross gives up a hit to Jace Peterson. Boy, he'll remember that moment for the rest of his life. His first career hit at Fenway Park, drives home a run, and then makes it 4-0 Atlanta.
Looked like a pitch that was more inside than target was in. But it was up, and then you kind of drifted out over the middle of the plate. He stayed back, turned on it, good swing. And the only thing that kept him from getting 2 RBIs was the fact he hit it so hard.
So now it's a righty versus lefty matchup for Atlanta with Cameron Maben. And he had a good rip. Fouled straight back by the Braves center fielder. 4-0 Atlanta. We're in the 7th. All about Maben's work in the month of June. You know all about Maben's work since the 1st of May. You also know Cameron's been deadly with runners in scoring position.
And I don't think he's hit a grand slam this month, has he?
This is the park to do it. Maben's 22 for 48, a .458 average with runners at second or third base. So you like your chances on the play. 1 and 2. Braves have 7 hits, all singles. In a game of 14 hits, all singles earlier in the month. Ground ball toward Pedroia at second. The flip to Bogarts, and the throw to first is in time. It's a double play. And that retires the side. The Braves add an insurance run, and we head to the 7th inning stretch.
it's always cool to say, hey, you know what, I got to play at Fenway Park, which is one of the true historic places in all of baseball.
A.J. Przenski, 76 games played here, but the Brave most excited about taking the field for the first time had to be Jace Peterson. Told me before the ball game, look, you dream about playing at places like this. I feel so good about my standing here with this team and where I am, and you just feel so fortunate and blessed. And as you guys said, Chip, his first hit here at Fenway Park brings home a run, and you know he is on cloud 11 right now.
He should be. He's playing great. Having the time of his life.
Watching Anderton throw between innings on the little rollers that Freddie Freeman scatters around, and it looked like Anderton was throwing just fine.
So Williams Perez out after 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs. And he'll give way to left-hander Dana Eveland, who will face David Ortiz for the Red Sox. This is an area where your left-handed relief really needs to shine, because Boston has had almost no luck hitting left-handed pitching this year. The Red Sox hitting an anemic .227 as a team against southpaws. And that's certainly noticeable when you look at David Ortiz. David Ortiz has 8 hits in 71 at-bats against left-handed pitching, a .113 average, and no homers. One ball, one strike for Big Papi. Good fastball. He didn't get it. What'd you say? The inner half has been a problem for him?
Yeah, they've been, that pitch was away, it appeared, but they've been wearing him out inside because he can't get to that pitch anymore. A little slow. And to correct that, he's cheating, as hitters would call it, trying to start early.
Upstairs, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ortiz flails and is out number 1. Good start to the bottom of the 7th inning for Dana Eveland.
One of the keys about Williams Perez was make it 3 out of 4. On May 30th at San Francisco, 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball. On June 10th against San Diego at home, 7 innings of 4-hit ball. He gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. Tonight, 6 innings, 5 hits, is that right? And no runs. So 3 of his last 4 starts, he has not given up an earned run in any of those 3. Very impressive.
Sander Bogaerts is 0 for 2. And an even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Slashed into the seats to the right side, foul. Bogaerts was signed as an international free agent. That was in August of 2009. Look for the Braves to be very active in the international market now. It's one of the little reported but great success stories authored by John Hart in the Braves front office this offseason. The very large pool of international draft money that the Braves have. That runs all the way to the backstop. Braves will have, because of the caps of some of the other big market teams that have already spent those dollars, they may have the pick of the litter for the next couple of years. Boston certainly happy with this 22-year-old star in the making out of Oranjestad, Aruba. Pitch. Bogaerts is skied to center. Maben on the run at the warning track. That ball is gone. Xander Bogaerts hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, and that takes care of the shutout. It's a 4-1 game in Boston.
What is it about the Braves bullpen and home runs?
Far too many of them.
Belt high down the middle. Bogaerts' third homer.
That's the 25th home run surrendered by the Braves relief corps in 186 2/3 innings. The Mets hit 4 homers against Atlanta yesterday. Well, Boston's on the board. Here's Sandoval. It is worth repeating, this is Fenway Park. No matter the weather, no matter what your lead, it's never a comfortable feeling until that last out is recorded.
No, but it's interesting when you go to a new ballpark, play a new ball club, one you haven't seen in a long time, or in this case, interleague play that you will only see once. How it's already, the scouting report's already getting the Braves bullpen. That's all we heard today.
And here's your point about Pablo Sandoval. Batting lefty against the lefty, Danny Evelyn. And he smacks one toward the gap in right center. Maben can't get there. He almost overran it. Sandoval huffing and puffing and slides in at second with a double. And all of a sudden, Fenway Park has become a very loud place. And Freddie Gonzalez will stop the momentum right here. He will have to go to his bullpen again. Evelyn struck out Ortiz, surrendered the long homer to Xander Bogaerts. And now Pablo Sandoval, hitting left-handed against the Braves reliever, has doubled to right center field. Atlanta goes deeper into the bullpen. We got a ball game in Boston. 4-1. Atlanta leads it. College night tickets are only $20 with $10 of added value included, and you'll get to sit in on the new college section. Don't forget, students also get to run the bases after the game or weave the bases, whichever way you want to look at it. Don't miss out on these special nights at Turner Field. Space is limited. Go to Braves.com/college now. We got away go here in Boston. Red Sox have some momentum. They've scored a run. They've got a second run in scoring position, and Mike Napoli will face Nick Massett.
Nick Massett has strung together 3 or 4 real good outings. No hits allowed in his last 4 or walks, and he's had a strikeout in each one of those 4.
Mike Napoli's had a few struggles at the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. In fact, he was struggling so mightily, the Red Sox sat in the last couple of games to let him clear his mind and hopefully get going again at the plate.
And he's 0 for his last 15.
7 for 47 with 19 strikeouts. in that stretch for Boston. Blow foul at the plate. Good fastball from Massett. 1 ball, 1 strike. Julio Teheran and Wade Miley tomorrow afternoon. Weather's supposed to be better at the start of the game. Might get a little dicey by the time we head for Logan Airport and Atlanta. Things are dicey enough here in the 7th. 4-1 Braves. Boston threatening for more. Bouncing ball to third. Uribe's got a friendly hop. Unproductive at bat for Napoli. 2 outs. Sandoval has to hold at second. Here are your updated rankings for the Braves bullpen. And to illustrate your point, this is a sound strategy for a team playing Atlanta right now.
Well, it is the 25th home run. One Evelyn allowed, their last in the National League in home runs allowed. 13th out of 14 teams in walks, and last in ERA, as we already knew.
Mookie Betts is 2 for 2 today. Strike call. A.J. Brzezinski's had himself a good game behind the plate, too. He's called an excellent game for Williams Perez. See if he can help Massett end the inning here. That one gave him no chance. So Massett throws one in the dirt. And Sandoval's at third base on a wild pitch.
Shin guard. Inside of the shin guard. AJ had to try to plug up the 5-hole with a glove, and when the ball took that skip, it missed the glove and hit the shin guard. Still rooting Massett on, encouraging him. Wants him to make a good pitch here and try to get out of the inning.
Popped him up. And that's a big out. Jace Peterson at second base has it, and Massett puts out the fire. Sandoval left stranded at third. The Red Sox settle for 1, and we go to the 8th. We go to the 8th inning. Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, and Juan Uribe are up for the Braves. Freddie's 1 for 3 with a run scored. He's also stolen a base, and a comebacker off the glove of Ross, who recovers and makes the play in self-defense. Wow.
Came a little bit of a whirling dervish there, didn't he?
He sure did. The Red Sox will gather on the mound. Let Ross gather himself, and we'll take a look at our T-Mobile game changer.
Including tonight's game, 2 for 3, an RBI and a run scored. That's bumped up his career mark to 278. A lot of extra base hits. He obviously likes hitting here. Hit here a lot in the American League East.
A strike from Ross, who was activated today by Boston, or brought up today. Jeff Bianchi, former Brewers infielder, was designated for assignment by Boston. The transaction took place, I guess, after the always important press notes were printed.
I was going to say about 5 minutes ago.
Yes. Jim Johnson's getting ready for the Braves. He'll pitch the 8th, we presume, as Markakis shoots one to Sandoval. That thing had a lot of topspin. He made a good play. 2 outs. Pablo Sandoval, in many ways, is like Bartolo Colon. Don't let the body image fool you. He's an excellent athlete. And he made a good play there to take care of Markakis.
Yeah, and there's a real good arm.
Here's Uribe. Juan has a run scored and a 4-game hitting streak. 0-1. In the Boston 8th, it'll be Leon Pedroia and Brock Holt. Braves trying to hand the Red Sox their 7th straight loss. Mets have come back to take a 2-1 lead over Toronto in the 8th inning at Citi Field. Toronto, the hottest team on the planet. They have an 11-game winning streak.
But the Mets continue their home magic, their Citi Field magic, coming from behind again.
Washington's losing to Tampa Bay 5-0. Marlins are beating the Yankees tonight. That's also a 2-1 score. Fought it off, stays alive. It's 2-2. There's the streak for Juan at the plate. Well, he's been a nice addition. Great in the locker room. Love his glove. He's already had some big hits. It's coming over with the Braves in Los Angeles. And a ground ball deep, short and through for a hit. Multi-hit game for Uribe. And that'll bring up Kelly Johnson.
Off-speed pitch that didn't have a whole lot on it, and in a bad location. Hitter third of the plate. No chance for Bogarts.
Kelly Johnson blooped one over third to lead off the 7th, and he came home on Jace Peterson's RBI hit. That's a very big Atlanta run. Took a shot at left again. Sandoval runs out of real estate.
Kelly Johnson played here briefly. It was almost like in 1 year he played for all the American League East teams. I know that's not right, but in a pretty short period of time, over a couple of years. And I asked him about playing here, and he said the one thing he took away from here was coming to the park every day and listening to Napoli and Pedroia. So they made a huge impression on me about what it takes to win, how hard you got to work to stay ready and be prepared every night.
2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at Braves.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, your tablet, or your smartphone. You can vote up to 35 times at Braves.com.
You can also write in if their name's not on the list. I don't know how you do that. I mean,
well, the computer, maybe just like that. Maybe you
like what? Like what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, do a screenshot, send it in. As Jim Johnson takes over for Atlanta, he'll face Leon Pedroia and Holt. 34,439 in attendance in Boston. I'm joking about the Kansas City thing, but that's something we will ask Rob Manfred tomorrow. Because the fans are voting, and hey, give the Royals fans all the credit in the world. They're voting frequently, and they're voting for their guys. As it stands now, the American League All-Star team will feature 8 Royals and Mike Trout if voting were to stop today. And that is the game that determines home field advantage for one league or the other for the World Series. Strike 3 called to Leon. Johnson off to a good start in a park in which he's pitched exceptionally well in the big leagues.
Here's another guy that's got a good run going. Massett, 2/3 of an inning tonight. Zeros across. That's 5 straight good outings for him. Jim Johnson, same thing. 3 straight outings of an inning apiece with no hits or runs. Only 1 walk featured in there, and now 2 strikeouts. He and Massett have it working right now.
Pedroia has been on base twice, and he'll be on a 3rd time. Despite a great diving try by Jace Peterson, Pedroia has a 2-hit game, 2 singles, and now we're getting closer to that thunderous part of the Red Sox lineup. Pedroia's aboard, 1 out.
In the 23 games now since Pedroia moved into the leadoff spot, 23 games, he's got 35 hits.
He's their version of Jace Peterson. Here's Holt. Holt's hit into a double play. He has singled. He has walked. Williams Perez got 3 double plays in the first 3 innings of his start tonight. And is trying to become the first Braves rookie to start his career 3-0 all in starting assignments since Mike Minor went 3-0 in 2010. David Hale also started 3-0, but not all of those decisions were in starts.
Yeah, I hope Mike's rehab is going well and healing from his shoulder surgery, Mike Minor.
One ball, 1 strike to Brock Holt. Lifetime at Fenway Park. Jim Johnson has pitched in 26 games, 29 2/3 innings, 24 strikeouts, 12 out of 13 in saves, and he's unbeaten 3-0. The low, 2 balls and a strike. Skied foul to the left side and into the upper deck. Hey, nice catch.
Back-to-back 95s, too.
She played that perfectly, man. That bounced right off the top of that LED scoreboard. She handled the hop and made the play without a glove. Nicely done. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 inside corner. Perfect pitch. 2 out. Holt didn't think so.
2 called strikeouts. Fastball, some sinking action right there at the knees. Beauty. looking good.
Fouled away by Hanley Ramirez. The Red Sox left fielder is 0 for 3. And yes, that does seem odd to say. Hanley Ramirez, the Red Sox left fielder. The foul ball was loose on the warning track behind home plate, so pause for the bat boy to pick it up. Now we're ready. Pretty pitch. Right now, Jim is pitching like he did in the first week.
Good breaking ball that he used like a changeup. 95 went down to 80.
No balls, 2 strikes. Johnson wants a new sequence. David Ortiz is on deck. The Braves don't want to see him until the 9th. And Brzezinski and Johnson want to discuss it.
AJ's gone through everything he's got. He's lost. I've called everything.
To second, and a line drive off the bat of Hanley Ramirez ends the Boston 8. Braves bullpen getting it done tonight. It's a 4-1 game. They're dancing in the aisles. Those are probably Braves fans on a cold night. And we head to the 9th inning. It's a 4-1 Braves lead, and this is our Toyota key play.
Big base hit, 1-out base hit delivered. Kelly Johnson in the 7th inning gave the Braves an extra run to work with. His first ever hit at Fenway Park.
A.J. Brzezinski guides one over the head of Hanley Ramirez off the big scoreboard in left. And Brzezinski settles for a long first pitch single, and that's how the Atlanta ninth begins. Joe made the point earlier about playing left field. If it's over your head, turn around and play the ricochet. And that's what Ramirez did. And that's going to be the last pitch of the night for Mr. Ross. John Farrell will go to his bullpen as Atlanta tries to extend a 3-run lead. Braves are looking good. Johnny Gomes is coming up. 1 on, nobody out. Top of the ninth in Boston. Get your tickets today to see the Braves take on the Phillies. What better way to celebrate Independence Day than by experiencing America's pastime and the best fireworks show in the Southeast? Go to Braves.com/tickets and plan your 4th of July trip to the ballpark today. Tough times for the Phillies. They've lost 17 of the last 20 ball games. They've scored 3 runs in the last 47 innings.
That's ugly. It's Alexio Gondo. Remember him?
I do.
Boy, what a great arm he had. He had some arm trouble. Still throws 92 to 96 with a cutter and a slider. Numbers are okay, but not outstanding. All of his work has been out of the bullpen. Hitters just 2 for their last 14 against him.
In his early days as a professional, he had some visa issues. He couldn't come to America for 4 years. Not sure what the reason for that was. I'll have to do some research on that.
There was a name birth certificate mix-up on him.
Yeah, I'll check.
Not mix-up, but he came to the States originally as somebody else.
He's got Johnny Gomes in the batter's box. Gomes has had a good night in his return to Fenway Park. He's walked. He's made a great catch in left. And he had a big swing. Didn't get it. Good news in Boston. Jose Bautista's done it again. He's just tied the game for Toronto. 2-2 Jays and Mets. The Mets lead the division by a half game over the Nationals, by 3.5 over the Braves. Washington's getting throttled in Tampa Bay tonight, 6-0. Downstairs to Gomes.
Nice stop there by Leon.
And the Ogando situation wasn't a false name. Apparently he was involved as a youngster in some fraudulent marriages.
Oh.
And had his visa pulled, and he was led to believe he'd be denied entry in the U.S. for a year. Instead, he was banned for 5. As Gomes takes strike 3, and he's retired for the first out of the 9th inning. Actually, a human trafficking ring is the way it was described.
Pretty good breaking ball there.
They were finally, or the Feds, willing to grant Ogando a visa to go to the U.S. in February of 2010. And here he is with the Red Sox. And for a man that's had a litany of shoulder problems, this guy's got a very good fastball. The season ended last year in June with an elbow problem.
It could have been a disaster on a foul ball off the hand. Not a foul ball, but a hit batsman for Anderton. Could have been a lot worse than him still being in the game and able to play. Could have been a broken finger.
See how he grips the bat with a 1-1 count. And he pokes that toward third. Sandoval to Pedroia. And Petey the turn. Nice play. The Braves have hit the 2 double plays. And that sends our ball game to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's set up for Atlanta. They lead 4-1.
Retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
4-1 Atlanta. We are through 8.5 innings at Fenway Park in Boston. Time for our SunTrust save of the game tonight. And it was a starting assignment for Williams Perez that saved the day for the Braves.
Yeah, instead of the save his last time out. 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, only 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And you're seeing some of the work here. 3 double plays turned behind him in the first 3 innings. Ran into a little trouble there in the 6th, a couple of walks, but got that ground out to get out of it.
So Jason Grilli is on for Atlanta to face Ortiz, Bogarts, and Sandoval. Here's a spot where you really hope Jason has a clean inning. Got some thunder in the Boston lineup here in the 9th inning.
He has not given up an earned run in his last 6 outings. Nine for 9 in saves on the road.
David Ortiz, the first to greet him. He's 1 for 3. And really got ahead with a strike. 0-2. Ortiz, you recall, has been one of the more vocal complainers about baseball's pace of game rules. All the adjustments of his batting gloves and his equipment. He's gotten a little frustrated as Grilly's making him play a waiting game now. 0-2.
Well, one thing I've noticed tonight about Ortiz is that he's been swinging at a lot of bad pitches, especially some that are up out of the zone. Got a base hit his first time up on that good changeup from Williams Perez that was down almost on the dirt.
He wants that pitch back. That's not the way it works. Yeah, good cut, but could do nothing with it. A ball and 2 strikes. Big crowd trying to cheer on Big Papi. Fly ball left center. Maben and Gomes converge. It'll be Maben right in front of the Green Monster. Ortiz just missed, and he's out number 1. Ortiz hit it a long way, but not deep enough. And here's Xander Bogaerts, who homered above the center field wall his last time up. Bogaerts has 8 hits and 20 career at-bats now against the Braves. Yanked foul past third.
Jason has a way of trying to throw your timing off. Sometimes he uses a high leg kick, and other times it's like there's a base runner on and he uses a quick slide step.
Popped him up with a breaking ball. That should be easy for Jace Peterson. And he's got it. 2 outs.
27th out coming up.
And it's Pablo Sandoval standing in the way of a 4-1 Braves win. Williams Perez went 6 with 5 hits. Evelyn, Massett, Johnson, and Grilly trying to finish it off over the final 3 frames. Stay right call.
8 pitches, 7 strikes so far for Jason.
And now Atlanta's a strike away.
Good breaking ball. Excellent work by Massett. Johnson. 2 up and 2 down for Grilly.
Braves fans doing the tomahawk chop as Grilly's ready for the 0-2. And it's back to the screen. Miley and Tehran square off in Game 2 tomorrow afternoon. And we head back to Atlanta for a Wednesday night, Thursday night date with the Red Sox in Atlanta. It's going to be a lot hotter than it is here in Boston.
There's the quick slide step.
Fly ball hammered right center field. That's big time trouble. Maben will watch that one bounce off the track and into the stands for a double. So the Red Sox down to their final strike. Won't go easily in the ninth. It's a double for Sandoval. He's got 2 of those in the game.
Out into the triangle. If he hits it 3 or 4 feet to the right of where it landed, it's a home run. High fastball. And a ground rule double.
Mike Napoli 0 for 3. And again, Jason's a strike away.
You can go back a little farther on Jason in terms of his earned runs. His last 9 outings, 9 innings, only 1 earned run and 1 ERA.
No balls, 2 strikes. Hot shot. Simmons smothers that. Picks it up. Low throw to first. Freeman can't handle it, and everybody's safe, and Boston brings the tying run to the plate. Remember, it was the throwing hand of Andrelton Simmons that was pinched on that hit by pitch. And he threw it into the dirt, and Freeman couldn't corral it, and the Red Sox are still alive. That's an error.
Tomahawk by Napoli. And that in between hop, Andrelton smothered it, but the throw was right into the ground. And Freddie did his best to make sure that the ball didn't get by him, number one, that would allow a run to score. And just couldn't hang on to it cleanly. E6.
9th inning drama for the Braves and Red Sox. 2 on, 2 out. Mookie Betts. Ball 1. Slider a strike. Alejandro De Aza is on deck. He would bat for Sandy Leon if Betts keeps the game alive.
2 straight sliders to start him.
Locked him up inner half.
3 in a row. Got him to flinch and give up on it.
One-two pitch. Now it's 2-2.
I don't think that one was planned to go up there. The first one might have been as a waste pitch, not that one.
Now Napoli will get a running start at first base with 2 outs. Outfield very deep for Atlanta.
Trouble for Betts lately. Pitches away, fastballs away, trying to pull him.
Here it is. Line drive, center field. Maben can't get it. A run is in. Napoli around second. He's at third. Boston's got a 9th inning run. 2 hits and an error after 2 quick outs. And now the winning run comes to the plate in the form of De Aza.
Breaking ball again. This one started in the middle of the plate and broke out. And he put a good swing on it. He was fooled, but he put a good swing on it.
3-hit game for Mookie Betts. And now De Aza in the 9th.
.210 average, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. More action in the Atlanta bullpen, Hardsman and Avilan.
Diaz has faced the Braves before as a member of the White Sox. That was 2 years ago. He had 6 hits in that series against Atlanta. There's some who wonder how long Diaz will remain with the big league club, with Jackie Bradley Jr. dazzling at Pawtucket. Diaz has a chance to make a very difficult decision for the Red Sox.
He was with the Orioles. They designated him for assignment. The Red Sox picked him up.
Out of play. Jason's gotten to 0-2, but hasn't been able to finish off a couple of these 9th inning hitters.
Yeah, that second fastball to Betts was the one that got away from him. That he wasn't trying to waste one upstairs, and it put him in a count where he wanted to then throw a strike.
Oh, 2. Did he go? He did not. The ripple effect of all these extra pitches is you wonder about Grilly's availability tomorrow. We've got to worry about tonight first.
Yep. And with the high fastball again, didn't offer.
Squibb back to the mound. Grilly's got it. The throw to first in time, and the Braves have beaten the Red Sox. Jason Grilly gives up a run in the 9th inning. It was an unearned run, but Boston falls 2 runs short, and Atlanta wins game 1 of this home-and-home series with the Red Sox. 4-2 your final on a soggy night at Fenway Park.